Hello everyone, my name is Paul Dennis Basio Jr. And while working on my self-introduction, a song popped in my head. Name of the song was I Would Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That by the artist Meatloaf. And so by taking the latter part of that title and incorporating it into my own, the title of my self-introduction is But I Won't Do That. First of all, I want to share with you of how I was born and raised on the island of Kauai in the beautiful state of Hawaii. But I won't do that. I'd like to share with you of how I am the oldest of four Basio brothers born to Paul and Celestine Basio, and I'd like to introduce my brothers to you from the oldest to the youngest. But I won't do that. I'd like to share with you of my brother James, who works down at a feed store, who sells feed to horses and chickens and various other farm animals. He is married and has three children, but I won't do that. I'd like to share of my brother Chris, who works in a warehouse, and his job description covers loading his van with different wares and delivering these wares to the various major stores around the island of Kauai, such as Kmart, Walmart, and Target. But I won't do that. I'd like to share with you of my youngest brother Sean, who never really learned how to swim until after graduating high school. He would run down to the pool and teach himself how to swim just so that he could enroll into the Navy. I'd like to share of how proud I am of my youngest brother, but I won't do that. Now I'd like to share about my early childhood education, of how I spent my preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, intermediate, and high school on the very same hilltop in Kapa'a on the island of Kauai. But I won't do that. I'd like to share of my work experience, of how I come from a family of carpenters and construction is the family business. But my first real paying job was as a busboy in the Flying Lobster restaurant at the Sheraton Coconut Beach Resort on the island of Kauai. But I won't do that. I'd like to share of my work experience from carpentry to the food service industry and hotel restoration. From landscaping to being a janitorial supervisor to becoming a sewing machine and vacuum repairman, I'd like to share with you of my experience as a campus beautification engineer, otherwise known as a garbage collector, and to finally the job that I currently hold as an instructor and a project designer at TechnoHow. Now, TechnoHow is a company in the San Francisco Bay Area that focuses on summer camps. We do summer camps, uh, different locations throughout the Bay Area, and we focus on Legos, Lego robotics, and computer game design. And we teach these to children from ages 5 to their teen years. But I won't do that. Finally, I would like to share with you of my college experience from being in the drafting program in the University of Hawaii Hilo campus on the Big Island to obtaining a bachelor's in church leadership and youth ministries from Bethany University in California, or of how I was in the master's in clinical psychology program at Notre Dame de Namur University in Belmont, California, before I finally came to my senses and realized that what I really wanted to do was computer animation. And so that is how I ended up at Full Sail on the online computer animation program, Full Sail University. But I won't do that. But what I will do is I'll answer the four questions at the end. What makes you anxious or fearful about public speaking? How will I beat that fear? What, where can I find confidence? And number four, when was my first public presentation? And so the first question, what makes me anxious or fearful about public speaking? Well, there are two things that make me feel anxious. The first is that I don't really want to be the center of attention. And the second is I have no idea how my audience will react to the topic at hand. Question number two, How will I beat my fear? Well, the only way I know how to beat the fear of public speaking is to continue to do it. Just get up and speak publicly. Um, doesn't matter how many times I've done a speech presentation. I begin each presentation with a truckload of nervousness. But as time goes on and I get to know my audience better, the anxiety fades away. And so the only way I know how to beat my fear is to continue to speak publicly or do public speaking. Question number 3, where can I find confidence? I basically find my confidence by putting on a mask when I speak to different audiences. The majority of my audiences range from children to young adults, and so I present myself differently depending on whom I'm speaking to. And I present myself and speak in terms that they will understand. I do a lot of training and teaching throughout the year and preparing for our summer camps. I work with Legos all year long, so I know my product and I do my best to sell it. Question number 4. When was your first public presentation? Well, my first presentation was way back in 1990, 1991. I was part of a program called Youth Legislature, and high school students from across the state of Hawaii would gather in the capital of Honolulu in the Senate and House of Representatives and put on a debate. Well, we were just 5 guys and a girl, and we had this really wild idea to legalize prostitution through a service of intimate relations, or SIR bill. Now, I worked on the health portion of the bill, which basically stated that those under the SIR bill um, needed regular health checkups to receive a clean bill of health in order to continue working. Unfortunately, the bill was killed before I had the chance to voice my findings. Well, that is the 4 questions answered, and that's my self-introduction. So, see you guys all in class.